watching In This Case on the waterfront with Coach. I'm Marina Hernandez.
And I'm Coach Ed Barreras.
We're here on location at the Harry Bridges Memorial.
Yes.
In San Pedro. Before we get to the show, like and subscribe. I always forget that. I just like to get right into it, but this is important. If you like the show, please like and subscribe, share it. Good?
Yes.
Okay. So, we're here. Okay, so it's Harry Bridges' birthday this week.
Yes, July 28th is Harry's birthday, and it's a day that I'll never forget because that's my mom's birthday.
Of course.
July 28th.
I love that.
Yes.
They share a birthday. Two special people in your life.
Two special people in my life. Yep.
So he was born in 1901, died in 1990.
1990.
So what is that? 89.
89 years old. 89.
I can do some math.
Right. And he was the president for, 40-some years?
40 years, 1937 to 1977.
77, right. And Jimmy Herman was the president when I got in. I got in 1982. So between 77 and 82, it was Jimmy Herman.
You just missed him, Dad.
I just missed him. I just missed him. But I know that he would come down the port and talk to, a few of his friends down here. But I never did get to meet him.
Darn.
Yeah.
So he was. Do you know where he was born?
He's Australian.
He's clearly Australian.
Australian seaman. Right.
Yes. He was born in Australia.
Hi, Buddy here with a quick producer's note. Here's a video of me correcting these two during an earlier take.
So Harry Bridges, do you remember what country he's from?
Austria.
Austria.
Right.
Yes, you're correct. And when he went...
He's Australian.
Oh, he's Australian?
Read it.
Oh, what, is that the same as Austria? Okay. We're not going to edit this. This could stay in here. Okay. He's from Australia. He's Australian.
Australian.
Not Austrian.
Okay,
Austrian, is that Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay.
Thank you, buddy, for correcting
Thank you.
us.
But see, what would we do without you, buddy?
Yeah. Right. There it is. Austrian seaman.
Zoom in. You'll see that we have no idea what we're talking about. Okay. When he was 16 years old, this is according to Wikipedia, when he was 16 years old, he became a seaman.
Right.
He rode the waves. And according to Wikipedia, he traveled 30 different countries. That's pretty cool.
That's
Got a
cool.
lot of well-rounded probably from visiting. How many countries have you visited, Dad?
Maybe about 7, 8. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
You did most of it in your younger years.
In my younger years, yeah.
I love that.
Right. Right. It was fun.
From what you won some prizes as
a newspaper boy. Yeah. I think we said this before that I won 3 trips to Europe. Yeah, 3 years in a row.
That's so cool.
It was cool.
What job did you have when you were 16? Because he went out to sea at 16. What were you doing?
When I was 16, I think I was washing dishes at a restaurant on Anaheim. Right.
Okay, so in honor of Harry, so at 16 he went out to sea, visited 30 countries. He got injured at sea, and then he ended up in San Francisco at about age 18 or 19.
Okay.
Became a longshoreman there. Was a longshoreman, and then maybe saw the disparities.
Oh yeah, what they were doing at that time, they were handpicking guys that they wanted, and the
company was.
The company was.
Okay.
And it wasn't organized, so he didn't care for that.
Yeah.
And that's why they went on strike too. One of the reasons they went on strike. So form a hall. So now we go. It's our system.
That's fair.
It's a fair system.
As fair as it can be.
As fair as it can be. Before, it was not fair.
Mm-hmm.
They would pick whoever they wanted. Yeah.
Yep. Let me see. What else? Other facts about... Oh, I love this fact. Do you know what he did after he retired after he retired? You probably won't guess it, but just make any random guess. What was his hobby after he retired? What would be your hobby after you retire?
I like gardening and stuff.
That was his hobby.
No way.
I swear. Gardening. That's
Told
your
you.
guy. That's your
you.
guy.
I did not know that.
Gardening was his hobby.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Man.
I'm going to follow in his footsteps.
You are, Dad.
Yeah.
Okay. So on the show we have Mike Mullin and his dad. No, Mike Mullin
is the dad.
Yeah. And we have Todd and Mike.
Yeah, father and son, and Mike Mullin. Boy, I don't want to.
Don't ruin it.
Yeah,
it's
I'm not going to ruin it. It's one of the best programs that we ever had, and
I think so.
His dad was a chartered member of the ILWU.
And then I asked, what is a chartered member?
Right. Well, it's the founding.
The OG.
Yeah.
He's an OG.
He's an OG.
He founded.
Right.
Yeah, and then Todd just became a boss, so he talks a little bit about what it's like to be a boss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, about that process. So that's pretty cool for people who are interested in becoming a boss. He can talk. He talks a little bit about what his experience is like right now.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Dad, you brought us something.
Okay, I brought this article that it was Thursday, and it says Argentina roars back, beats England, but that's side news. Right here it says port sets historic cargo record, best June in 118 years, Western Hemisphere mark for most volume in a month, and Gene Soroka, who's the executive director, said this was our best June in our 118-year history. Adding he was evidence of how businesses are adapting in a climate of uncertainty sparked by changing tariffs, rising fuel, and other things.
Also sparked by the badass longshoremen who are moving that cargo.
We are moving that cargo. And on that same tone that you're talking about right now, it's really good for all our casuals, because casuals, way to go casuals, we're working 3 to 4 days a week.
Yeah.
So they're helping us out,
money.
and they say that this is going to continue at least till August.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got another full month of a lot of work.
A lot of work, and
ID's got comeback, so I'm excited about that.
Right.
Don't have to go to the hall so much. Can get a job and enjoy a little bit more of your summer day. For me, because I'm nights, enjoy a little bit more of my summer day and show up a little later.
Right.
So that's nice.
That's nice.
So all this is just benefits for Longshore.
Yeah, and it's good for the whole industry, because now we can count on somebody. Okay, these people are back tomorrow, so we know where we stand.
Yeah. So production kind of just runs a little bit more smoothly. Is that kind of what you mean?
Right. Sometimes when the casuals come, they're deer in the headlights, and they're not sure exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
But they'll learn.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's how you learn. You got boots on the ground. You got to figure, go there and have everybody else kind of help out.
Yes. So that's good for all the casuals. Keep the good work, keep it going. And the most important thing for all the casuals I want to stress is be safe. If you don't know what you're doing, ask. Please ask.
And like I was saying earlier with the like and subscribe comment, if you know a casual, because I feel like you've given your card to someone. If you know a casual, please share this podcast with them, because there's a lot to learn here. This episode and previous episodes about safety, about, just the way that we work, just things like that. I feel like this is a really good podcast for a casual.
Right. It's funny you mentioned that. They're going to bring in some casuals into IDs very, very shortly. The number, I do not know how many. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're going to bring some casuals. So if you guys are on the list, look it up. Make sure you go on the internet and find out exactly where you guys are standing. I know Buddy is waiting for his UTR testing. So
yay, Buddy!
It's real promising. Keep it up.
Finally, he'll move from behind the camera to on the waterfront. He'll actually be on the waterfront.
He's going to be taking my seat. He'll be taking my seat.
That'll be crazy.
Yeah, that will be crazy.
Will you retire when Buddy starts?
No.
Oh.
No.
You
Keep
like it too much. You love it.
Yeah, I enjoy the camaraderie and
Hey, about that. So I took my dad you went with me to the hall. I took him to the hall with me, to our new hall, and that was your first time there. What were your impressions of the new hall?
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful hall. I love the emblem on the ground.
I had to snatch you because you almost tried to walk. You almost walked on it.
I almost walked on it, and I had heard, hey, nobody walks on that. So the sound systems, it's nice. Sound system, the old thing, it was all muffled and everything. So it's well organized.
Yeah.
The dispatchers, everybody does a good job there. Everybody was polite, standing in line the way they should.
Sergeant at Arms came and gave you a big hug.
Yeah, Mike Kobos, I'm proud of you being a Sergeant of Arms. Mike Kobos was one of my football players at Banning, and he was a real good baseball player also.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I was really happy to see him. And
Yeah.
Angie Rossi, saw Angie Rossi.
Yep.
She played ball with you. And it was nice to see some people in there. I didn't know too many because I know a lot of people on the day side.
Right.
Not too many night people. But
Were you ever nights?
I was nights for a few years, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's been a while, probably.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. It's different.
Completely different.
All right. Well, I feel like that's...
Yeah, that should be it.
That should be it.
Again, we'd like all of you to please listen to our podcast and
share
and subscribe.
All right, here we go to the show.
Thank you.
Cap out of Truman. All right.
Yeah, my name is Mike Mullin. They also call me Coach on the Waterfront. My number is 30565.
I'm Todd Mullin, 38670. It registered in 1999, and that's my father.
Great. Originally, I asked Todd to be on the program because he just became a foreman. Just joined us. Congratulations, Mike.
Congrats.
And
Todd.
Todd. And like Mike said, he's coach. I'm second coach. He's the original coach. He's the OG down here, and I followed suit. He was a longshoreman, and then he became a clerk, and then a foreman, and I followed in his path.
Where did you coach, Mike?
I coached in Narbonne. I coached at Narbonne for like 13 years. I was a varsity basketball coach there for a long time. I also coached at Mary Star. I coached basketball there for 11 years. And believe it or not, I'm still coaching. I'm coaching at Peninsula High School right now, varsity basketball, helping out. So,
Wow.
That's amazing.
still involved with it. So,
Keeping you youthful, huh?
we'll see.
I'm not coaching, but he's still coaching, so he's the coach.
He's coach. I don't know. You're demoted,
I'm
Dad.
demoted. I'm demoted.
Are you guys Pedro guys, or where'd you grow up?
I grew up out in the Carson area.
Okay, Carson boy.
Actually, at that time, it was called Keystone, okay? And actually, we started in Wilmington right here, and that was during the war, and my dad wanted to move away from Wilmington during the war because he was afraid the Japanese were going to bomb the harbor. So he bought a house out in the Carson area, out on Dolores Street, over towards Carson Street. So we grew up out in that area right there. At that time, it was all fields out there. So now it's all grown up.
He's a Banning High pilot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I went to Carson Street School, opened Wilmington Junior High School. Wilmington Junior High School, actually, part of Wilmington Junior High School, we went in houses while they finished building Wilmington Junior High School. So I was the first class that went all the way through Wilmington Junior High School. And then went to Banning High School. Graduated from
I didn't
Banning.
know that.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then I was born in Redondo Beach. We lived in Harbor City. I went to Harbor City Elementary, and then we moved to Torrance and went to Torrance through junior high school, and then went to Marist High School. And now I'm living back in South Torrance, Redondo Beach. So I've been in the South Bay my whole life.
So how's foreman so far for you? How's that experience?
It's good. We've been in for about a month now, so it's a lot of learning. I drove crane for the last 18 years, which was great. And now instead of looking down, I'm looking up, and it's a nice change. It was time to make a change. Loved driving crane. I still like driving crane. I wish I could get back up and do it, but it was time to do something different.
Following your dad's footsteps, right?
Follow on his footsteps,
Right.
yep.
Right.
So.
It's a lot different being in that crane and then watching the guys down there. It's a whole different ballgame. You have a lot of responsibility up in that crane, but just as much down on the ship.
Yeah.
A lot of responsibility.
It's just a different responsibility.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
So are you ship boss mostly?
Well, I'm the new guy. We're like the casuals of the foreman right now. So we get whatever they give us, and we're on probation for a year. We've only been in for a month. most our jobs, we're getting our hatch bosses. I've had a couple dock boss jobs. I haven't had a lash yet. Some of the guys are getting lashing jobs, lashing foremen. So we're, our group, we went through training in May, and our group's a pretty tight group.
How was it when your dad teaching the class? Because your dad taught me when I had my class there.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for long. With Paul, right? Paul's your partner?
Yeah,
Paul.
with Paul Orseth, yeah.
Paul, the two of them still did the class, and it was great. It's a 2-week class. You learn a lot. It's really overwhelming when you just think, I've taken elevations, I've done this, I've done that. But when you get into the details and what you need to know, it's eye-opening.
Well, it sure is. But
Like, what's an example of? Is it like the codes?
Well, it's just the overall responsibility that you have. You're in charge of everything. You're it. You're not waiting for somebody else to tell you. You have to make decisions on your own. Right. So
that's it. You make decisions. They better be right.
Mike, let's go back to you. How did you start down here?
Well, it's kind of crazy. I graduated from high school young. I skipped a grade in grade school, so I graduated 17, kind of early 17. And I wanted to go to college, okay, and my parents wanted me to go to college, but I didn't have the money to go, okay, so I had to get a job somewhere, okay, so I worked several different jobs when I got out of high school, trying to figure out some kind of way to get the money to go to college. And there was an opportunity to maybe get down on the waterfront, but at that time, my dad was a charter member of the Longshore Union. He became a member in 1934, actually got his book in 1935, but was on the strike and so forth. And he could sponsor somebody, but I wasn't old enough for him to sponsor, okay, because I had to be 18 in order for me to get in. So they had what they called the sporties, and the way they didn't have a casual hall at that particular time, so the way they distributed the extra jobs when there were extra jobs were they would distribute them to the two fishermen's unions, okay, and they would also divide them among the sporties, okay. The sporties were a group of athletes that there were Longshore had two different types of teams. They had a football team and they had a basketball team, okay? So I played for the basketball team. Believe it or not, the football team was really good, okay? They actually played the LA Rams for a halftime. They got beat really badly, but it was very interesting. And the sporties met at there was a field called Pat's Field, which was built out on 220th and Avalon, okay? Pat's Field, there was a baseball coach at Banning High School by the name of Eugene Patz, who was kind of a legend at Banning High School, okay? And so they named that field Pat's Field, okay? And the Seattle Rainiers of the Pacific Coast League used to train there. They had their spring training there. And they had a nice clubhouse that was kind of out in left field, the left field section of the field there. And so the sporties used to meet out there when there were extra jobs, okay? And there was a guy by the name of Bernie Carmona. He was a runner that would go to the meat locker, pick up the jobs and bring them out, and he would distribute them to the sporties.
Just in the field?
Yeah,
like not a building, it was just...
Yeah, right at the clubhouse right there.
Oh, okay.
So he would distribute them. So
I love that.
The very first job I got was at actually at Vobco. I don't know if you knew where Vobco was, but there was a Copra dock. Vobco was a company that was right at the end of the Avalon Boulevard, okay, that Copra, which was like coconut type of vegetation type of stuff that they would make coconut oil out of. And we had these 130-pound sacks of copra that we had to load on a board, on a plastic board, and send out, okay? So that was a very, very difficult job. We got through it for the first day, okay? The second day on the waterfront, I ended up catching a job, and that was a banana job, okay? At that time,
should've
banana
guessed that.
jobs
Yeah,
were
you
on
should've guessed
stocks, okay? So I go up on the ship, okay? Stocks are like that high, okay? They're almost as big as me, as big as you.
Yeah,
okay?
for sure as big as
You're
me.
as tall as a banana stalk.
Okay. So you go to pick up the stock like this, and you have to break into the stock, somewhere into the stock, and you pick it up and you grab it and you walk over to a belt and you drop it in the belt, and you go pick up another stock and you drop it into the belt, and you go pick up another stock and you drop it into the belt, and you do that all day long. Just drop it into the belt. Thank you.
No, there was no gravity at that time. You would physically walk from one end of the ship, the hatch, to drop it in the conveyor belt, right?
Into the conveyor belt.
Right.
Conveyor belt takes it out, okay, and it takes it out and it puts it on a conveyor belt, and then it takes it out, and at that time they were loading them in the box cars, okay? In the box cars, and they had like a 6-man gang, okay? 2 guys would be on the belt, and they would pick it up. 1 guy on the front end, 1 guy on the back end. They would pick it up like this, and they would hand it to a rover guy, and they would put it on his shoulder. He had a big pad on his shoulder. They would put it on his shoulder, and he would turn, and he would hand it to a person in a boxcar.
Which would be a Teamster or a longshoreman?
Oh, a longshoreman.
All longshore, okay.
This is longshore gang, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And he would turn and he would hand it to a guy in a boxcar, and then the guy in the boxcar would take it and put it on one end of the boxcar, because there were 2 guys in a boxcar. So they had 2 guys picking it up, 1 pivot man, 2 guys in the boxcar, okay, until the boxcar picked it up. So the pivot men, they worked like 15 minutes and 15 minutes. Guys in the boxcars, they worked until the boxcar was full, and then 1 guy would finish it up and finish the boxcar, okay? So that's the way they worked, okay? The guys in the ship, they worked like 40 minutes on and 20 minutes off, okay? So they call that beanie time, okay? Time for beanie, and there was a boss in there that used to say, okay, beanie time, okay? And then you get your 20 minutes off, and then you start going again, okay? And you keep going until time to go to lunch or after, whatever, okay? So anyway, that was my second day on the waterfront. But that second day on the waterfront, I had a ball game that night. I played at Compton College. There's no way I could shoot the ball. There's no way, man. I tried to shoot the ball like this.
Yeah, no way.
I couldn't get my arm up. There's no way I could get my arm up to shoot the ball. Okay?
No way.
Yeah, because that was heavy work. Okay.
Longshoring at that time when you got in was hard work.
Yeah, it was tough.
It was tough work.
Yeah.
I mean, those are just 2 examples of it being down the waterfront. I never did stocks. There were boxes. Did you do boxes at 147 or 208? No, it was bananas. And there were boxes at that time, right? But it was the same thing. We put them on a gravity and throw them on in the belt.
Yeah.
But
and that wasn't easy work. That was hard work.
that was hard work too.
Yeah, no, that was hard work.
That was
yeah.
hard work.
Yeah.
But I don't remember, I think we worked an hour on and 20 minutes off. I don't remember the breaks, but it was the same type of break system you guys had.
Yeah.
Because it was hard work.
Yeah.
Hard work.
Yeah.
So then after that, after the sporties, then your father sponsored you?
Yeah, I turned 18.
Okay.
When I turned 18, then my father sponsored me. Okay, so I ID'd for 3 years.
Okay.
Then I got my book. I was fortunate. When I got my book, I was able to go to college. Okay, I went to Brigham Young for 1 year. Okay, I only lasted there 1 year because I fell in love. Okay. my wife was here. Okay, so I came back. Okay. Got married, finished my my degree at Long Beach State. Okay, and then started teaching school. Okay, I taught at Stephen White Junior High for like 5.5 years, and then was fortunate to get a job at Narbonne High School. Then was fortunate to get the basketball job at Narbonne, and that's when I, coached for a long time at Narbonne.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
You coached with Bob Annette, right? And Marietta.
Yeah, Jack
Marietta.
Robinette, Marietta,
Yeah.
good group of guys, yeah.
Those
yeah.
are the guys that came with us and Longshore.
Yeah, right.
Longshore with us.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, let's change the pace a little bit right here when he's talking about that in the summertime, the teachers would be off. And if there wouldn't be any, you don't get any pay. So Mike went to the executive board, the longshoremen's, and he asked them, petitioned that if he would allow the teachers to come out and get extra work. Because they had the fishermen, like Mike was saying. And then at that time, the air traffic controllers were on strike.
Yeah.
So it was striking locals and everything. So Mike, thank you, Mike. He went there and they said, okay. So the teachers, it was just Banny, Carson, Norbon, and San Pedro, the old Marine League.
Yeah.
It was just us. We had Ferragamo and Gene Boanego, Bobinette, and all the coaches. Really, it was the coaches that went there. And that's how we got the extra work. Mike, really, I'd like to thank you for allowing us to do that, because that was my way into getting longshoremen, because I got my hours that way.
You have Mike to thank for you being down here.
That's
Dad.
why I'm glad
That's
that
what
he's here.
That's why he asked me. He's like, your dad got me in. I wanted to have you come in and talk about it. So
Yeah, he not only
Yeah.
got in, the local guys. Eventually, Long Beach Poly and other schools found out about it, so they joined our team. Call it our team. But it was during the summertime. It was great. Hard work though. Bananas. That's all we got. Bananas or mats and lashing or UTRs. And they didn't teach you how to drive a UTR. You just get in it and drive.
Oh, yeah, that's the way
Right,
it was.
Mike?
No, that's the way it was, yeah.
that's how everything
Yeah.
was.
Right?
Well,
you went through all the trainings, right? They didn't have Mike didn't have training when we were in.
UTR, you had to go take a class, outside class. They didn't have inside training. So I went to take a class, and I show up, and the guy's like, here, back this truck up, pull out and back up. And I pulled it up and backed it up. And he's like, okay, here's your certificate. I'm like, wait a minute, I paid you $150. How do I drive this thing? He's like, it doesn't matter. Here's your certificate. Go. So I didn't know what chose went where. I had to come down here, and you get on the job, and people, hey, red right. And that's how I learned.
That's why they call it the Longshore Way. You just
you
teach
get
each
thrown
other.
in, and
That's
somebody
the
will teach you. And as I got more into it, I always made sure that when I had new people come on the job, I made sure that I gave them my knowledge, because that's how it was passed to me.
Right.
So
Right. Mike, there was no training when you got in, right? I mean, it was just hands-on.
Yeah, I had no way there was any training, not at all, not at all, yeah.
How were you treated down there by the longshoremen?
Yeah, pretty good, yeah.
Is that was a charter member? What do you
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Bad. You got to figure that things were completely different at that time, because they had the long gangs, so things were really different at that time. The people on the ship, the gang leader ran the show, okay? The bosses really didn't run the show. The gang leaders really ran the show, and that's what it was. That time, too, it was quite a bit different, okay, because things were different. I mean, when containers came in, things changed completely, okay? Things changed completely, okay? And probably for the best, really, in the long run, because there was a lot of pilfering down on the docks. When I started down there, I mean, you could not blame companies for losing a lot of money. We would go on liquor ships, okay, and at the end of the day, everybody walked off a gangplank were halfway drunk, okay? That's just the way it was.
Just halfway.
That's just the way it was, okay?
Right.
If you go off a fruit ship, everybody was kind of, everybody had plenty of fruit to eat, that's for sure.
we had some good grapes when I was
that's
growing
what
up.
Oh yeah.
There were
Fresh
some,
off the boat.
Yeah, there were some pretty good trips. The Matson jobs were good. They had these big frozen lockers. As soon as you go down to a Matson ship, you open the frozen locker, you take out a big pineapple, cut it up, okay, and then you do your work after you get the pineapple all set and take care of business after that. Yeah, so
Right.
yeah.
That's the Longshore tax.
That was fun times. I got tail end of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I did cotton and rubber and stuff like that, but and sacks. funny you mentioned that those two guys that joined you and this other guy joined you, and there was 4 regular longshoremen. Well, one of my first jobs, me and Joe Dominguez, as a matter of fact, we went down the hole, and we didn't know how to throw the sacks and everything. You know, there's a key to it,
Sure.
right? Sure. So we're looking over there, and who's over there? Joe Loco and Hooks.
Well, yeah.
2 old timers.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there and they're laughing at us and laughing at us. And finally they came over and showed us how to do it. But that was the longshore way. Yeah. They let you struggle a little bit. They let you struggle, okay.
Laugh at you a bit.
Yeah, struggle a little bit. And then they come over there and they show you exactly how to do it. I'm sure that's what you did, Mike.
Yeah, that's certainly, certainly. Because the one thing you could do, okay, depending on who you're working with, okay, is if you really knew how to longshore, you could hang the hook on the other guys, okay? You could load your board and then watch these guys struggle, because once you load your board and send it out, you could sit there and wait and rest while these other guys are struggling, because you could just do it fast. You know how to do it,
right.
And wait for these other guys to struggle and get it back in. So a lot of guys did that, but the guys that really wanted to help people, okay, the good longshoremen were really, okay, hey, we'll help you. We'll show you how to load your board right and get it done right and so forth, okay?
Right, to keep that hook going up.
To keep the hook going, yeah.
Hang the hook, you know, the guy, the winch driver is just waiting for you to finish your load. That's what it means, hanging the hook.
That's hanging the hook.
Yeah, you don't want to hang the hook.
Oh, okay.
Right, Mike? You don't want to hang the hook.
Exactly right, exactly right. You keep the hook going, okay? So,
How about, any hard jobs that you had, Todd?
Oh, I've done every. When I got in as an ID, I took all general jobs and loved that. And probably the hardest job was a late dispatch at the Coke Dock over in San Pedro, and it was raining, and I had to go down in the tunnel and just shovel, and it was wet and heavy. I didn't know. I was brand new, didn't know what I was doing, and this is what you do. I'm like, okay, here we go. You know, you walk out, and I'm dirty, I'm drenched. It was fun. That was probably the hardest job I had.
Yeah.
And I remember it still, but it was a good job. I was just down in this tunnel by myself, going, "Wow, what am I doing?"
Yeah, how did I get here?
Marina had stories like
Same,
that.
yeah, those Coke docks or something else.
Yeah. And so, like, I went for, you know, a couple of years where I didn't even see a container ship, and then as I got further along, then I started being able to get swing jobs and taking a lot of elevations, and then after that, then I rolled into top handlers. I drove top handlers for 5 years and loved it. I mean, that was a lot of fun. And then as I got further along, I was like, okay, what are you going to do after top? I'm either going to go foreman or crane, whatever comes first. I had a chance to go foreman first. I took the test and passed and did the interviews and got on the list. And then that was in 2008, and we hit a recession. That was 2000, a little bit before, but work slowed down. So they took 20 guys off our list, and we had 105 guys that were qualified to go foreman. And they didn't bring anybody else in. They just took the first 20, and 5 years went by, and they said, okay,
a new list.
Now we're going to bring more foremen in, and we got this list of you guys, 105. It's going in the trash. So they threw us all in the trash and said, you got to reapply. In that 5-year period is when I got crane trained and just started driving crane. And I'm like, okay, well, now I'm driving crane. I got 5 more years of experience. I'll go ahead and reapply for foreman, and I put my application in, and it came back, and they said, you're not qualified based on your work history evaluation. I'm like, I've already passed everything 5 years ago. Now I drive transtainers, hammerheads, and have 5 years more experience. And I said, well,
wow, yeah,
that's the formula. So I didn't appeal it. They said, you could probably appeal this. And I said, I'm not going to appeal it because now I'm driving crane, and that's what I chose to do.
I'm sure your dad said, don't appeal.
Well, it was what I wanted to do because I I thought, I want to drive, I like driving the cranes, and I'm learning, and I want to do this. If I go appeal it and they approve me, and then I say, no, I'm going to stay in the crane,
Right.
that wouldn't look good on me down the road.
Right.
18 years later, I finally made the commitment to go down the foreman path. So, it's been a great run.
Yeah.
I raised my kids, and they're up and out and in college now, and so I got more time to do what I want to do.
Thank you, Harry Bridges, right?
Thank you, Harry Bridges.
Mike, now what was your path? Longshoreman, then what happened? You were a longshoreman in 61, or you became a
Local 13.
Local 13?
Yeah, I went through Local 13. I went clerking for 2 years.
Okay.
Didn't really care for clerking. It didn't, that type of job was okay. Okay, the money was a little bit better than longshoring, okay, because we got a few more hours, okay. At that particular time when I went clerking, okay, I kind of felt at that particular time, probably not now, but the clerk's local was a little bit snobbish at that particular time, okay, because there were what they call pure clerks, okay. Clerks kind of resented people coming in from Local 13 because there were people that were already in there. I don't know if you felt that or not.
I sure did. That's why I'm smirking. Yeah, felt that. Oh. Pure clerk. When you're talking about a pure clerk, they came in as a clerk. We came in as longshoremen. They were either they got in, somebody passed away, or somehow they got in, but they got in as pure. They call them pure clerks. But you're right, Mike.
Yeah,
they
gave you a hard time?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, not a hard time, but you sort of,
You felt it. Something you felt.
you sort of got the tail end of you got the worst job.
Yeah, whatever, know. And so when I went Boston, perfect, absolutely. Everybody treated you the same, okay?
Right.
And so I just felt like, yeah, this is a job for me, okay?
Right.
I started loving it right away, so.
Mike, when you were talking about lawn gangs, I don't think the audience knows about it.
I don't know. Yeah.
You do know?
I do not know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious about
the
that.
lawn gang?
Yeah, well, the long gangs is you would have a gang for the ship, okay, order for the ship, and a gang order for the dock, okay. So the gang order for the ship would be loading a board, and that board would go out to the dock. It would go on a four-wheeler out on the dock, and it would go out to the gang on the dock, and then the gang on the dock would take it on the board and put it on the skin of the dock, okay, and then send that board back into the ship. And that's the way longshore worked for years and years and years, okay. And eventually then that changed. Sometimes then, instead of having a long gang, sometimes they would have they call those boards plaster boards, okay. And then sometimes they would have just regular pallet boards. They would send pallet boards in, and the gang, the regular ship gang would load the pallet board and send it out on the dock, and they would just stow them out on the dock. And they would have palletizing gangs out on the dock, and the palletizing gangs on the dock would then take them off of the boards and put them on the dock, okay, on the skin of the dock, and then the Teamsters would pick them up off the dock and then put them into their trucks.
Right.
And that's the way it worked. Okay, but gangs used to work against, the ship gang used to work against the dock gang. And that's kind of the way it was for a long period of time.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
You know, the camaraderie, right, Mike? When you worked in a gang, it was. I worked in a gang a few years with my brother Bobby. Mm-hmm. I loved every minute down there.
Oh.
Yeah. Right, Mike? It's a lot different.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, it's very different from my experience because I take a lot of UTRs and it feels like very solitary, like I'm just on my own. So I enjoy when I can get a swing job and I can talk to somebody else.
Yeah.
Because I'm truly missing that part of the job.
Right.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will get there eventually.
Mike, so you were an ID for 3 years. You guys do 5 years now, isn't it?
5 years, yes.
3 years as an ID?
Yeah, 3 years as an ID, yeah.
I did 2.
2?
Yeah.
2 years. Wait, we got in at a good time because the harbor was expanding. I mean, Hanjin, or TTI now, was the naval base. 400 wasn't even there. So there was a lot of expansion. So we got sucked up pretty good. I mean, jobs kept opening and growing for us. So it was a good time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how long you were casual, but I know that people behind us got stuck.
Well, I was in that 2008 year that you're saying we hit the recession.
Yeah.
So, and I was actually going to school. I was a teacher at Broad Avenue Elementary School. I taught fourth grade for maybe 2 or 3 years, right when I got my casual card. And I was also going through the master's program because I thought I wanted to be a principal. And then I got laid off as a teacher, and I thought, I'm going through this program to be a principal, and I don't even have my teaching job. Luckily, I did have my casual card, but it was, we worked maybe once every 6 months. So it took me total, because at some point I kind of was like, I'm never going to get it. And truly, I was like, this is just going to be, I'm going to look elsewhere, and I'll just keep, like my dad always said, just keep it, just, it'll be a good backup plan.
Yeah.
So ultimately, it took me 17 years to as a casual. When COVID hit and every work picked
That's
up.
got to be close to a record. I've heard 10, 11, but 17, I haven't heard 17.
17,
Wow.
and now I'm 4 years as an ID, and then I'll have to do 5 on the BUTR. So, it's all timing, and I got the bad end of that timing. But I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
There you go.
So I was asking earlier, Mike, what were some of the big issues or some of the big things that were going on in longshoring during your time down here?
Well,
Mechanism, the M&M.
that's kind of interesting story. When containers started coming in, okay, in the early 1970s, Malcolm McLean was the person who actually started containers, okay. He actually had a trucking company that mainly trucked tobacco, really, but started doing other commodities. And he kind of got the idea that when he was trying to ship stuff, that maybe it was a good idea to maybe take the whole truck and put it on a ship rather than just putting cargo on a ship, okay? So he was the one that really started containerization, okay? And then he got the idea of getting a box and putting 4 corners on a box, okay? And taking the 4 corners and then being able to stack boxes on top of each other, okay? And he could have patented that, but he did not patent it because he wanted it to go worldwide, okay? And that started containers, and then it started coming in pretty quickly, okay? And then they had to try to find different ways to lice the containers onto ships, okay? And there were all kinds of different experiments on how to do it, okay? I can remember at Madsen that sometimes we used to they used to try to hang lashings from the top, so we used to have to get on top of containers and pull the lashings up and then put them on top, okay? And then they buckle them up from down below. At Sealand, they used to put the containers on, and they had what they called grids, okay? And the grids, they were like aluminum type of, well, they were steel, I guess, but they would put the grids, would cover like a whole section of containers, and they would take those and put them they would be on the dock, and since they would put the containers on, and then they would take a grid and they would put it on top of the containers. And then you used to have to climb up a ladder, and they had like a bar, and you take this bar and you pull it like that, and it would lock the locks onto the containers, okay? And that's the way they locked them for a while. They did that for a while, and then they started, hanging like cables, and had different brads on the cables, and they did different ways, and now they've changed the different ways to lock lashings on the ships, and now they've got it pretty well locked down. It's never going to be an easy job, I think, a real easy job to do it, but it's evolved, and that's why the ships are, getting bigger and bigger and bigger and whatever, because a ship can come over now and cover, how many containers can they bring across now, because they can just, bring more cargo in, save some money, okay? You can lace them down and put them down.
Malcolm McLean was the one that really brought in containerization. That'll be on the test.
Michael McLean. Now, was he a longshoreman? No, he was a truck.
No, he was a truck driver, and he was back east. He was back east, from Virginia, in that area right there.
Right. Well, the things you mentioned right now about the wires, I did that. At Matson, we'd hang the wires, like Mike was saying. They'd go up there, and they'd be on a little hook.
Okay.
And then you have to get the wires and bring them up and put them on the top of the can, right? And
was it like a bungee?
No. It was a wire there.
Okay.
And I remember Bobby Kennedy was up there with us.
Yeah.
And man, I was a little guy, right? And you have to use leverage to bring the wire up.
Okay.
Well, I wasn't doing it right, and I was gonna drop it, and he says, "Don't drop it." He said, "Don't drop it." And I go, "I'm gonna drop it." And then all of a sudden, he leans over and grabs it right over my shoulder, picks it up, and goes, "This is the way you do it." Bam, and he showed me. It's all leverage. He showed me how, but that's it. And he's talking about the grids at Sealand. I did that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
That was a long time ago, Mike.
Yeah.
You had the grids, you go climb up there and get a big old bar, and you would lock the cans in place. It was pretty good the way they did that, but they got bent up and everything. A lot of times they got bent up. Yeah.
So was that like a lashing job, or what? So would you pick up like a lashing job, or because you were already on the ship working, that was just part of the job? I don't know the job.
It was a swing
Am I asking
job.
the right question?
No, it was a swing job. You're a swing
Oh,
man.
swingman.
Yeah.
Okay.
You come on, you're a swing man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it didn't used to be lashing and swing. It was swing.
Right.
And you get to the job, and it's like, okay, you guys are going to be lashers. You guys will be on the ground.
And that kind of changed too when I was a casual, because they would dispatch a swing job, and a lot of us would get there and be like,
It's
a lash.
Yeah.
So then they started putting SL, swing lash, which is just ultimately a lash.
And that's within the last 10 years, probably.
Yeah. So then you knew, like, okay, I'm going to step out of line. That's not a job that I feel like I'm qualified for or I can do.
Yeah, but like Todd said, when you got a swing job, you're lashing or you're down on the crane.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And now you know.
Yeah.
That's a good improvement.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
But Mike, when you got in, there was no cranes, right? Or
no cranes at all.
There was no cranes.
No,
it was all.
You were the crane.
It was all plunder.
Yeah.
You'd have to go in there and you'd have to rig the gear, right?
Absolutely. They had jobs like they were 4-hour jobs, and they just called them rig and uncover. Okay. So rig and uncover, you would go out, and the first thing you'd do, take the batten bars off the hatches, and you would take the tarps off, then you would take the hatch boards off, and then you would take the beams off, and then you would have to pull the booms up, and you'd have to set all your booms, set your yard booms, and set everything up. That was like a 4-hour job. You'd set all your hatches up for somebody to come in after that, and so forth. So rig and uncover jobs were pretty good jobs, but they were like only 4-hour jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
I caught the tail end of that stuff.
Yeah.
Uncovering that and set the gears, set the booms and everything, and then take the hatch covers off, and then the bars and everything. Did that.
That's so cool.
Man, I'm glad you're here, man. It brings back so many memories. Yeah.
I know, because I haven't heard these stories from you. So that's nice to know.
Man. We're sharing all this knowledge of the way Longshore used to be.
Yeah.
Now it's easy.
Yeah, before we end, I want to touch a little bit on the strike, because that was an important part of our history. first, what led to the strike, and then what was the strike experience for you? And I think you said it was in 1971.
The M&M contract, okay, was kind of a debatable type of situation, okay? At that time, we were like on a 9-hour day, okay, 6 and 3, 6 straight time, 3 overtime. And we had a pretty good deal really coming, but they were going to change like to an 8-hour day. So at that time, San Francisco was the heart of longshoring, okay? That's where Harry Bridges was, that's where the heart of the union was, okay? So the M&M contract was coming up. Local 13 was against the M&M contract, okay? But Harry Bridges was for it, okay? And maybe the majority of Longshore was for it. So Harry Bridges came down to our meeting at the Memorial Hall, okay? And I went to that particular meeting. When I walked into the meeting, okay, first of all, when you walk into the meeting, you could hardly see across because of all the smoke there, because everybody smoked, okay? It was unbelievable, okay? Harry Bridges is standing over on the side, over on the other side over there, okay? And he was getting a lot of crap, okay? Guys were giving him a lot of trouble because he wanted that M&M contract to go, okay? And guys were catcalling him and giving him some trouble. Guys were booing him and whatever. It was kind of interesting to see that, okay? And I'm walking in there, young, I was like 19, 20 years old, 21 years old, okay? I said, why are they booing Bridges for Pete's sakes, you know? And so that kind of went on for quite a while. Well, they're taking care of business, you know how that stupid meetings are. Sometimes they got to take care of a bunch of junk meetings before they get the right speaker up there, okay? And so anyway, it's time for Bridges to speak, you know, and he goes up there and you're still hearing the cat calls and stuff, and he starts speaking, okay? He's Australian descent, okay? So he's got a kind of limey type of accent, okay? And he starts speaking. And he says, listen, he says, you need to understand that this world is changing. And he says, we cannot stop it. We can't stop it. It's going to change, and we're not going to stop it. and modernization is coming in, and there's nothing we can do about it. The companies are too rich, and they're going to keep making money. So he says, we cannot stop it. The only thing that we can do is we have to make sure that everything on the waterfront that happens on the waterfront has to be ILWU. And he says, if we can get everything on the waterfront as ILWU, we will be able to survive as a union, and we will be able to get fair wages for everybody. He says, so we have to pass this particular contract, okay? And he kept talking, and he kept talking, and he kept talking. When he finished talking, he got a standing ovation, okay? Wow. That's how dynamic that particular person was, okay? So it was really, really interesting, okay? Actually, Local 13, with a close vote, did turn it down, okay? But the whole port passed it. I mean, the whole Longshore division passed it, okay? So that contract came in, which changed everything, which meant that the operating engineers, okay, did not drive the cranes, okay? The Teamsters did not drive the UTRs, okay? The businessmen did not do the clerking, okay? Because the ILWU had jurisdiction over the port, okay? So Harry Bridges was certainly the person that made this longshore industry what it is today, okay? And so I think everybody that is a longshore person needs to be thankful of him, okay? So,
Mike, thank you for that story there, because I had heard it from other people, but you were actually there because they told me that they booed Harry, right? But after he finished He was a dynamic speaker. Exactly what you said.
Yeah.
And they just cheered him. Just brings chills to me right now.
I love how you painted the picture of walking in with the smoke. That was wonderful.
It seems like it's black and white when you think about it in your head, doesn't it?
Exactly. It seems
The
like
old movie.
I mean,
Yes.
you guys just got a lesson right now from Mike Mullin that can't be topped. I'm telling you this, and he owes a lot to Harry Bridges, right, Mike? I mean,
Absolutely.
he was there. He was the eyewitness there. Wow. Wow.
So then there
You're
was.
lucky. You're lucky you have your dad around to do this kind of stuff, man.
And
I'm lucky to have him.
Oh yeah. He's gonna keep your legacy going.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Trying
sure.
to.
Oh yeah. You got some big shoes to fill, but you're doing a good job of it so far.
well, that's
Keep it
what,
up.
you know, it's a lot of us guys that came in. When we came in, it was like, hey, don't embarrass your name, you know. You don't want to embarrass your family name because we all have, you know,
I'm
people
sure.
that
I'm
came
sure that
before
Mike's.
us. And
I'm sure that Mike's dad. I mean, hey, you keep that name going.
Well, there's no way in the world I wanted to have a bad name with my dad. Okay, there's no way I wanted to get back to my dad that I screwed up.
Yeah, that's the way it used to
That's
be.
the way the sponsorship was too. Yeah,
That's the way. That's old school longshoring. That's the way it used to be.
Well, you're my dad. So I will say I still feel that. Like, I don't want to let you down.
Right.
You know, I want to keep our name. I'm a Hernandez, but my work name, my jacket says Barrera still. So I feel that still.
we've got our eyes on you.
I feel it. I feel
Todd,
it.
do you have anything to add on all this? I mean, that's going to be a hard thing to top. What
Yeah,
you did. That was
Yeah.
icing on the cake.
I don't know how you don't end it on that, but no, it's a great life down here, and it's a family down here, and let's keep it going.
Keep it going. Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Yeah. I have now, fortunately, I've got a chance to train the bosses when they come in, and let's face it, I'm not getting any younger. Okay.
But you're still sharp, man. I got to tell them
sometimes I worry
stories.
about losing some of it. Okay. So as long as I can hang on, I'm going to do it. I got a great partner in Paul Orseth. Okay. And so that's still good. Got a class coming up in September. So hopefully they'll be as good as Todd's class. So we'll see what happens.
Right. Sorry.
And I feel like our podcast is doing, just to boast on our podcast, a great job of sharing these stories and preserving these stories. So after you've retired, then the stories are here and people can learn from you. So I really appreciate you being here, both of you being here.
And I'm glad you guys are doing this. Coach asked me to do it, and then I started watching some of your previous podcasts because I hadn't seen them, and it's great. What you're doing is great to keep things going.
Thank you.
Yeah, we want to keep it going and keep Mike's legacy going, and it's today I was really touched by this podcast, really a lot.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I haven't looked at all of them because I didn't know about them, and Todd told me. So last night was the first one I looked at. I said, oh, these are really interesting. So that's beautiful. I'm glad you're doing them.
Yeah.
Keep doing them. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep doing
Great.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was her idea, and my son Buddy said, "Hey, Dad, let's do this." I go, "Okay, we'll try it." At first, I don't know, but now,
You love it.
I love it, especially
Because
today.
moments like this,
This is
times like this.
special day because he really helped get me in. He helped get me in.
And also, we're at a turning point too with automation. So it's nice to hear these stories of how longshoremen persevere and push through and our determination. So we're going to need that moving forward with automation.
You got to keep evolving, but you always want to keep hold of the past and where we came from.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. The main thing we always talk about is safety, okay? And that's so important, okay? Because, we've all seen people get hurt badly down here.
Oh, yeah.
We've all seen people get killed. One of the guys who was in our class 3 classes ago ended up losing his life a couple of weeks ago. So that's, it's so hard. sometimes.
that's
to
hard.
See that happen. This guy was really a nice guy. He was in our class, and all of a sudden, Paul's in Hawaii. I had to call Paul and say, gee, this guy was in our class, and he lost his life just,
Yeah.
on the ship, and that was it. Sad.
What's his name, Dad?
Mark Salgado.
Mark Salgado. Yeah, we dedicated our last episode to him.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
good.
He's doing a good job, Mike. Keep the bosses going. Keep them in line. Show them the right way, and we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
We're going to be fine.
Good.
all right, thanks, you guys.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again for listening. This has been On the Waterfront with Coach, hosted by Edward Barreras and Marina Barreras Hernandez. Production and engineering by me, Buddy Barreras, and recorded in collaboration with the Avalon Arts and Cultural Alliance. Proudly made in the heart of the harbor, Wilmington, California.